landas, pagbabago, pag-asa, ikaw ang mahalaga. Iba't iba, pero isang halaga. Nagkakaisa, nagmamahalan, nagtutulungan. Liga ng bayan na to, mga kabataan na subok. Junior, MPBL para sa'yo. Ang liga, laro ng bawat Pilipino. Liga ng bayan na to, mga kabataan na subok. Junior, MPBL para sa'yo. Ang liga.
Games are still ongoing here at Gymnasium 1 sa iyong Barangay Poblacion 2 at Tanauan City, Batangas to witness more games of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season 3. Today is a Sunday and we still have a lot of games in store para sa inyong lahat. Kanina ay nakita natin ang San Pedro at Parañaque. Now it is time for the Palawan Yurich Builders going up against the Laspinas True Tea Coolers. At ang pinakahuli naman ay ang Batangas kontra sa Bawan para sa ating huling serye para sa araw na ito. My name is Hans Galeria and together with me is Charles Bechong and we will be joined later on by CJ Ang. Charles, it's nice to be here with you today.
It's glad to work with you again, Hans. Humbled to be your analyst for today's ball game.
This is gonna be an intense matchup. Marami tayong pag-uusapan, marami tayong makikita because first off, we've witnessed 3 teams kanina under 2 organizations, pero maiba naman tayo. Balik tayo sa 18 under division between the Palawan Yurich Builders going up against the Laspinas True Tea Iced Tea Coolers. These 2 teams kind of in different paths. Unahin na natin ang Palawan Yurich Builders. They're regarded to be the strongest team so far sa ating South Division pagdating sa 18 under.
Well, after their tough loss noong opening day against the Antipolo JY Titans, that ignited a spark to them na, hey, this is a wake-up call na hindi na tayo, although kulang-kulang tayo ngayon, Lebron, Daep, na wala na sa kanila, Roluna, wala na rin, dapat hindi mawawala yung championship pedigree natin.
There is a lot of things to take note of pagdating sa kupunan na ito, given na nasabi mo nga yung mga nag-depart because they're no longer part of the 18 under division and they're moving on to the seniors naman. But at the same time, they have to give the same amount of intensity para makuha nila ang mga puntos. More numbers ang makikita at masasabi sa atin ni Charles later on. But on the other side are the Laspinas True Tea Coolers sharing a 1-win and 1-loss record. And at the middle of the pack, what's something that we have to take note from this Laspinas roster?
Well, after their tough loss noong unang laro nila against the Mindoro Troops Hoops, it was a nail-biter of a game. Ano lang yun, Hans? Buzzer beater. So definitely they need to explore more and to see kung sino yung magiging closer nila when it comes to those final stretches of the game.
So you're saying someone has to take charge because so far, all throughout those 2 games na nakita natin sa kanila, none have been doing that so far. But maybe in this 3rd game na develop na nila yung chemistry na kinakailangan. So it's quite interesting, right? These 2 teams, galing sila sa kanilang unang laro na pagkatalo and then all of the sudden, they never looked back at nakuha nila ang mga panalo na kinakailangan. We're gonna kick things off in the 18 under between Palawan and Laspinas. Here is our game announcer.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Junior MPBL fans. Welcome to Game 1 of Poblacion, Tanauan City, province of Batangas. This is your Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season 3, ang Liga ng bawat batang Pilipino. The next basketball action continues between the 18 under of Palawan Yurich Builders versus the Laspinas True Tea Coolers. We are live on our official Facebook page and YouTube channel of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. Now let us meet the starters from your Palawan Yurich Builders. At guard number 10, Kurt Patalinhug. Also guard number 19, Kakay Zamoras. At forward number 37, guard Zulanas. Also forward number 11, Kurt Velasquez. Man on the middle, number 13, BRGY Binagatan. Head coach Sir Job Cleopas, assisted by Gerald Dizon, CJ Topacio. Team manager Red Go. Team owner Mark Soriano. Now let us meet the starters from your Laspinas Fruity Coolers. At guard number 24, Ethan Britannico. Also guard number 32, Tristan Katukod. At forward number 95, Yonri De Ocampo. Also forward number 6, Isaiah Calyanza. Playing center number 1, Simon Mercado. Head coach Sir Guy Billones, assisted by Al Vergara. Team manager Makoy Palima. Our games officials for today's match: Group Chief Andrew Morgan, Umpire 1 Jong Ramos, Umpire 2 Meng de Guzman. Junior MPBL Executive Director Sir J.R. Navarro, Junior MPBL Commissioner Sir Keith Picasso. Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season 3, ang Liga ng bawat batang Pilipino.
Doray, the bola ng Pinoy, team starters for your 18 under para sa Laspinas. It's Katukod, Britannico, De Ocampo, Calianta at si Mercado. Para naman sa Palawan, it's Patalinghug, Zamoras, Velasquez, Dulanas at Binagatan. Looking at the starting five of both of the teams, makikita mo yung slight discrepancy or slight change na ginawa ni Coach Geoff Cleopas with this starting five, considering that some key pieces are not available to play as of the moment.
Naming yung key pieces na sinasabi mo, Hans, of course, Jim Corpus, Louis Rosales, but they are looking to start tall here in this ball game. And alam mo, Hans, malapit sa atin tong dalawang teams na naglalaro.
For sure.
Dahil syempre na-cover natin to sa Season 100 of the NCAA. So familiar tayo dito sa mga players and sa mga playing styles nila.
Coach Geoff Cleopas, champion coach, redemption arc para sa Perpetual is just right there, and now he's bringing at least 4 of his players dito mismo, and then there you have it, a 3 nakuha kagad nitong si Zamoras.
Zamoras not really a guy na nabibigyan ng sobrang daming minuto, pero itong nabigyan siya, agad naman niyang pinatunayan bakit deserve niya yung mga minuto na yon.
Making the most out of every opportunity. That is exactly what Coach Geoff Cleopas is hoping from some of his junior altas na ngayon ay nandito sa floor. We're also looking at BRGY Binagatan, who's one of the, I think, the outliers. And, you know, you'll never know. Baka sakali makita natin siya later on in that Season 101. But this time, it's Laspinas. It's another player that's part of that, you know, centennial season, as Simon Mercado is part of the LPU roster. But he missed on that one. Kahit papano, ay nakakuha naman na ng isang puntos ang kupunan ng Laspinas. Now they're trying to move forward, but Patalinghug got a little too confused with his step. Turnover para sa kupunan ng Palawan.
Masyadong matagal sa kanya yung bola in that situation. Parang nagdalawang isip pa siya kung ano gagawin niya, kung didiretso ba niya, ipapasa ba.
Now that's another confused play. Galing sa Laspinas. They try to push through. Kicking out, Zamoras wide open. Almost getting it, but it rolls off. You know, one thing about this Palawan roster, anybody can step up on any given day.
And I like what they did there, no? Hinanap ulit nila si Zamoras. Dahil syempre pag nakashoot ng isa yung kampi mo, hindi mo alam baka streak yun eh. So you have to feed him again and again.
That's exactly what they did. Hindi nga lang pumasok, but some sort of expectation is gonna be there very soon. But there is Calianta getting his first 2 points.
Crashing the boards there was Ice Calianta for that stick back.
Talaan natin, all 3. Zamoras is gonna test himself once more, and he's not gonna miss twice.
Zamoras, unbelievable confidence from this young man. Kahit sumablay yung huli niyang attempt, hindi pa rin mawawala ng kumpiyansa.
Alam mo, heading into that season, I feel like there's a developed sense of composure and confidence dito kay Zamoras. And just like that, another less than 8-second play from Dulanas papunta kay Velasquez. And just like that, a 5-point advantage taken care of by this Palawan roster. Taking a look at this once more, another open three, some room, kaboom, para kay Kakay Zamoras. And then, there's gonna be another one of those layups lamang ang Palawan.
You're still watching the Junior MPBL Season 3 at kanina nga nakausap ko ang team manager ng Laspinas na si Sir Makoy Palima, and he said that Abrantes and Peña is not here dahil nasa palaro daw sila. Africa is still recovering from an injury that he got the previous game. The team manager also considers this team as a fresh team, as Rejano, Lontok, Katuko are the only old players of Laspinas, but team manager Palima is proud to have Yonri De Ocampo on board, the son of Yancy De Ocampo, formerly in the PBA. He believes that Yonri has a lot to offer, especially in the offensive department. Charles and Hans.
Maraming salamat, Ms. CJ Ang. That explains why some of the key players as well mula sa Laspinas ay wala sa kanilang laro as of this moment. But congratulations still. What a way para maumpisahan or may pagpatuloy ang kanilang run than going through the palarong pambansa. But they also have to play like their nation depends on it by getting this possible win.
Of course, itong Laspinas Fruity Iced Tea Coolers, heavily dependent or heavily reliant sila kay Jericho Abrantes, especially in the latter stages of the ball game. So, makikita natin sino yung mag-step up dito.
Speaking of stepping up, that's the guy of the first quarter. 3 3-pointers right away. Kakay Zamoras, just go ahead and keep introducing yourself.
Just averaging 21 minutes and 5 points. Now he's up 9.
Padoble na. Itong si Kakay Zamoras, and that's a 13-3 lead para sa Palawan. Pero babawi naman itong si Mercado.
You like what you see there, no? If you're Las Piñas, hindi lang sa labas kaya mag-operate nito ni Mercado.
It's a stretch big if you see one. Zamoras, he checked ba? Nope. He's going to be passing it to Dolanas, who turns the ball over. Now it's Yonri De Ocampo, the big guy. Turns it over as well. Oh, it's going to be the side of Palawan looking for an extra teammate. A bunch of errors para sa ating dalawang teams.
Some sloppy possessions for these two squads. Itong Las Piñas, Yonri De Ocampo yung naka-turnover doon. Ito namang Palawan, it's patalinhog.
Now Katuko decides to light it up. That's not gonna work. Takbuhan na naman ang Palawan. That fast-paced action in basketball is what we're seeing. What a move! Galing kay Velasquez.
Now you see me, now you don't. For Velasquez, using that sidestep to create enough separation for that layup.
I mean, this is what we've been talking about, right, Charles? Yung any given day, kumbaga, parang si Coach Geoff Cleopas, hindi na nga magic bunot yung tawag eh. There's literally someone na biglang magiging scorer, and that's exactly the case right here. This time it's Dolanas, the best player of that game. 17 points, 11 rebounds, something that you could expect from him.
That speaks about the program na in-instill ito ni Coach Geoff Cleopas. Na hindi tayo magre-rely sa isang tao, dalawang tao lang. Lahat tayo dapat kayang pumuntos, kayang mag-ambag.
And yung ambag nila ay nagresulta sa 11 puntos na kalamangan. So Las Piñas is gonna have to stop the bleeding here. That's a miss. But the ball was kept alive by Simon Mercado, who goes to the line to shoot for 2. This kid, you're seeing some improvements na ginawa niya during the offseason. Look at this. That's unselfish basketball. Triangle offense nga. Mini na ginawa nitong Palawan.
But here, Simon Mercado stepping up to the task na wala ang kanilang star player, Jericho Abrantes, crashing the boards. Resiliency paying off. Yun nga lang, sumabla yung first free throw.
Kumbaga ngayon, no, mas lisensyado siya na tumira as much as he can because their main sniper isn't here as of the moment. He missed both, unfortunately. Pero kuha pa rin yan. Itong Laspinas, a mid-range jumper is not gonna work, but look at Mercado. In and out it goes.
Malas. Yun ang masasabi natin. Malas na. Minalas. Itong si Simon Mercado. Missing 2 free throws and then that stick back.
Here's another opening, but look who met him at the air. What a block coming in from Aaron Flores.
That was out of nowhere. Flores.
I didn't see it too.
Oh.
Natatakpan kasi tayo ni ref nung una eh. So parang nagulat ako when he came out of nowhere. But either way, it is still Palawan leading by 11 with 3:56 left in the first. You're still watching Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season 3. Palawan leads by 11. And we're gonna get back into this game with an offensive foul from Kurt Patalinghug.
Referees are saying binaba niya yung balikat niya. And that's automatic. Offensive foul.
You know, compared to the previous games where they practically have a solid bench, I mean, they still have a solid bench, pero mas depleted sila ng konti. So I guess they have to be more careful with their fouls.
Oh, that's right. Dahil syempre, kulang na nga kayo eh. Babawasan mo pa ba lalo? So you really have to be careful sa mga gagawin mo sa loob ng court, especially on the defensive end.
Now they're going to have to play some solid defense. That's a bit of a smother. A 3 is on the way, and that is good para kay Cyrus Rejano.
Masyado silang naging masikip doon sa ilalim ang Palawan Yurich Builders. Libreng-libre si Cyrus Rejano on the right wing.
Sabi nga ng Gen Z, di ba? So first sikip. But either way, naitawid pa rin at nakuha pa rin nila yung maluwang na pwesto to get it right away over there. And there it is, another flurry of moves. Hindi nga lang papasok yun. They keep possession of the ball anyway. Ibang takbuhan, but what a rejection coming in from Kirby Bourbon. Here it goes again. Another 3 is on the way. Palitan ng dalawang teams. Now it's Lontok. What a step, but I think he wasn't able to plant his foot on the right way.
Yeah, nadulas yung kanyang left foot doon on that side step. He was able to create separation, pero yun nga, medyo off-balanced.
Solid outing mula sa Palawan doing their defense on the other side. Now Ignacio tosses it to Velasquez. No good. Tumatakbo na naman ang Laspinas turnaround. It was fortunate na naitira niya pa yun kasi napakalalim na nun.
Aaron Flores just using that spin cycle to elude the defense. Lahat sila tumatakbo eh. You have no or little to no chance of stopping right away. At itong si Aaron Flores biglang umikot at nakalusot. Nakakuha pa ng foul.
Charles, it's a different type of skill to develop. Pag kahit na sobrang bilis mo, you know, you're still able to stop and figure something out. You know, we're not gonna talk about what just happened. You know, let's go, Aaron. Like, try to shake it off.
And like what they say, the old heads, yung mga sinasabi nila, magkaiba yung mabilis na nagmamadali. Yung nagmamadali ka, you're kind of erratic. Eh. Ito si Aaron Flores, mabilis talaga. master the art of deceleration in the coming years.
But I don't think Gyros Lontok, he thought he had time technically, but there was no longer time because it caught him as they turned over as of this moment. 1 minute and 10 left in the first. It is still Palawan in control, leading by 10 points. Naghahanap ng tamang tiyempo ngayon ng kupunan ng Laspinas as Bourbon. Pinapahirapan itong si Gyros Lontok and company. That's Mike Iguban keeping things alive as of the moment. There you have it once again. What a pass, but there is a deflection. But one thing you love about Velasquez, he's not giving up on the play.
Napaganda pa. We could say that.
Charles, it's Zamoras with 9, Velasquez with 8. Like, things are definitely going well for Coach Geoff Cleopas.
Ayun naman yung sinabi mo kanina, di ba? Before pa magsimula yung laro natin, Coach Geoff Cleopas, strength and conditioning yung kanyang program. We were caught off, we were thrown off by that move from Cyrus Rejano.
Alam mo, okay lang kung tayo yung ma-caught off guard eh. Ang problema, it was Palawan. I mean, obviously that's the rule, right? Dapat nakatingin ka kung sino yung papasahan ng bola. But when does that usually happen? I know you play also. So, when do you usually do that? Pag pwedeng-pwede mo siyang gamitin.
Well, of course, pag nakatalikod yung depensa. Pero ano yan eh, hit or miss talaga eh. It's not 100%. Walang assurance na pag ginawa mo yun, eh gagana. Pero yun lang. Kung hindi naman magagalit yung coach mo, di why not? Diba?
And also, it worked in a different way kasi nadala siya sa free throw line. So with that being said, still got 2 points. 2 points is still 2 points. 34 seconds remaining. Laspinas is now at the double-digit mark. Pero 10 din ang kanilang hinahabol. 21-11. 10 seconds left in that shot clock. But I believe that's lifting. Nahuli yan ng ating referees.
It happened in front of our referee. This is Velasquez committing that dribbling violation.
Laspinas. I believe the shot clock is already off, I assume. Tuloy pa rin ang ratchada nila. 13 seconds remaining. Rejano, one of the key figures of this Laspinas roster who's been a silver lining for them. Almost turned the ball over, but you only have, I believe, 4.6 seconds remaining.
Enough for a quick play for Laspinas. What will they do?
That's exactly the question. We're looking for it. Bourbon with the defensive stop and another.
You just love to see the denial na ginagawa nitong Palawan sa Laspinas. Hindi talaga pinapatanggap ng bola itong mga players ng Laspinas.
These are the players that are completely intimidating yung length nila. Some players kasi don't know how to use their length, and yet it's gonna be Velasquez now tossing it up, and that is a miss. Doon matatapos ang ating unang yugto sa labang ito. It's Palawan leading by 10, 21-11 as they got a head start. Here is your Chef's Magic first quarter highlights, Charles. Palawan, what did they do right in this first quarter?
They quickly set the tone here in the start of the first quarter. Kakay Zamoras hitting a couple of three-pointers to start the ball game, or three three-pointers rather to start the ball game together with Velasquez with those nifty moves.
Velasquez has 8, Zamoras has 9, Palawan leads by 10. From tip-off to the final buzzer, every moment counts and so does every meal. Whether you're celebrating a win or just enjoying the game, Chef's Magic Condiments brings the flavor that makes every bite unforgettable. Chef's Magic, make every meal a magic moment. Patuloy pa rin po kayong nanonood sa Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season 3. My name is Hans Gileria. I'm also joined with Charles B. Chong and of course CJ Ang as your courtside reporter. We're beginning this second quarter. At nabanggit nga kanina ni Charles na Palawan setting the tone, setting the pace of this game. And Laspinas, on the other hand, should minimize on the efforts, minimize on the extra errors that they did in the first half, or in the first quarter rather.
Talking about the turnovers, 6 for Laspinas, 5 for Palawan. It's kind of close. Yun nga lang, mas madami talaga nako-convert or make that 6. So, tied na tayo sa turnover story natin.
That's exactly what you'd like to see from Laspinas, yung pagbawi nila sa depensa. Before that turnover, there was a rejection na ginawa yung kanilang mga manlalaro. I believe it came from Flores once again. So, the high flyer already has 2 blocks in this game. At siya ang magtitimon para sa kanyang kupunan. Rehano now from top of the key. Uses that right elbow jumper, is wide open.
Credit half the basket to the pick of Simon Mercado. Talagang nalibre si Cyrus Rehano after that pick.
Rehano now leads Laspinas scorers with 7, but introducing himself in this game is Kirby Bourbon.
Simon Mercado was a little bit too far on the challenge. Late na nung sinubukan niya.
Mercado a bit smothered there on that defense. It was quite close. Bourbon was waiting. Ibobomba niya sana, but landed on his foot. Turnover para sa Palawan.
Alam mo, tinuturo ng mga matatanda sa atin, no? Pagka nakuha mo yung bola, big man ka, huwag mo nang i-dribble. Iangat mo na agad. And Bourbon had to learn it the hard way today.
You know, there are a lot of coaches that probably taught you that move or taught them that move. I'm wondering kung sino yung nagturo sa'yo, Charles. Yung katabi mo ba? I wanna figure that one out.
Late na kami nagkakilala
Late
nito.
na. Okay. That's good to know. At least for these kids, medyo familiar tayo or alam natin kung sino yung mga nagtuturo sa kanila.
Of course, masasabihan din naman yan si Bourbon. You're 3-4 feet away from the rim. Isubo mo na. I-lay up mo na. Huwag mo na i-dribble.
But his athleticism, on the other hand, has proven to be a worthy opponent para sa Laspinas. Also playing for the Adamson Baby Falcons, itong si Kirby Bourbon. So that is at least another talent that you're gonna have to take note of. But the man on the line, itong si Kakay Zamoras, breaking through the double digits. Only playing at least, 12 minutes dito sa laban natin ngayon. A high flyer from Flores. I thought he was gonna jam it. He had the ability to. Here they go again. Mercado from straight up 3. It's not gonna work. Talo na naman para sa Laspinas. Another 3 on the way. This time it's another miss. Those are extra opportunities para dito sa Laspinas.
And those are opportunities that you need to take advantage of. 3 attempts, still could not buy a basket.
But props still para sa Laspinas. They're getting a lot of these chances pero kulang lang talaga doon sa conversion. Now here's an unforced turnover para dito sa Palawan. And every single time that they do that, they give an extra chance para makabawi ang Laspinas. 25-13. Almost 3 minutes ang lilipas dito sa ating second quarter. They're gonna have to find a way to get some buckets here. Babol getting it to his big man. Stretch on the way for 3. It's not gonna work that time.
Kind of falling in love from deep. Itong Laspinas.
Another turnover mula sa Palawan. Deciding to slow it down, but look at that extra pass, but everything but the shot not falling for Simon Mercado, and this is gonna hurt. If it goes in, it does not. Oh, but Charles, yun yung mga sinasabi mo kanina na isusubo mo na lang. But hold up, before you say whatever you want to say, we're gonna toss it over to our courtside reporter, CJ.
Thank you, Hans. Head coach of the Palawan Yurich Builders, Coach Joseph Quiliopa, said that the only thing that he wants is to be better than they were yesterday, continuous growth and just playing their very best each game. He used the term win against themselves to see what they're really made of. Hans and Charles.
Maraming salamat to CJ and of course her report regarding Coach Joff Cleopas. And that's another 3 on Kakay Zamoras. Charles, are you still frustrated about the play 2 plays ago, or you feeling okay now?
Those were 10 points already. Had Simon Mercado made those point-blank shots. But again, maybe one of the days, lahat
Yeah.
naman tayo may ganyan. Happens to the best of us. Ang importante ay hindi ka mawawala ng kumpiyansa if you're Simon Mercado.
And at the same time, binibigyan pa rin siya ng pasa ng kanyang mga kakampi. It's the composure that you have on yourself, that's one thing. But at the same time, you also have yung para sa iyong mga kakampi. For Flores now, unfortunately, is really struggling from this free throw line. That's 2 air balls already para sa kanya. And he still is yet to secure something at the free throw line. So with that being said, Palawan now leads by 15. Zamoras has 4 threes. Dadagdagan ba yan? The answer is not just yet. Laspinas gets possession. Now it's going to be Laspinas trying to move forward. Another turnover. Ang maibibigay nila ngayon.
That's 9 turnovers already for Las Piñas.
And look at the play that is being executed nitong Palawan. It may not, work as of that moment, but you see more movement. And look at Aaron Flores, skying high for that one.
Talk about athleticism for Aaron Flores. Eluding the defense. Initially, he was outnumbered. Pero kaya niyang gawa ng paraan. Kung di lang siya na-foul doon ni guard Dulanas.
That's gonna be what's gonna be the issue though is yung kanyang free throw shooting.
Oh yeah,
of course. That's the double-edged sword whenever he gets something. Now Katukod finds another teammate that lines up the 3. It's not gonna work. I believe that's Dulanas. All the way. Pasahan sana. Now Takutod is all alone, or that's Timbang rather. Decides to go for a mid-range.
I believe that's the best shot possible for him. No? Kesa ita-challenge mo yung depensa sa ilalim.
What a pass. Speaking of challenging the underling, that is someone at the under. That's Velasquez to Dulanas for the 2. Just take a look at this once again. Oh, that's Patalinghog. Patungo kay Dulanas. I don't even know who is who because the system is executed into perfection. Timeout para sa Las Piñas. You're currently looking at the Las Piñas True Tea Coolers led by Coach BRGY Beliones, really trying to instill some knowledge and wisdom sa kanyang mga manlalaro as they are down by 17 points.
It's not like they could not execute, Hans. It is a problem of conversion, not execution. Remember those 5 misses from Simon Mercado? Those were big. Had he made that, 7 points lang yung inahabol nila.
Would have been single digits as Yonre de Ocampo keeps the possession para sa Las Piñas. They're able to get it across. Now here's Mercado. Straight up jumper. It's not gonna work. He's had those chances. At naka-convert naman siya ng isa, but ever since, he hasn't made one.
Pero okay pa din yan for Simon Mercado na hindi nawawala yung kumpiyansa niya.
Kumbaga, shooter shoot, right? Papasok at papasok din yan. Now here's Sararanya. His decision was to not keep the ball moving. So with that being said, a possession is going to be taken. And I guess, you know, at some point, coaching staff was a little bit frustrated with what he did during that time dahil pwede niya daw sanang maitakbo. But now, here's going to be Timbang. Lines up another shot. Short. It goes into Zamoras with another rebound. Patalinghog looking for reinforcements. Binagatan. Ball was taken. Almost. Dulanas kicks it out. Lots of passing. Velasquez goes sidestep. Turnover. And then there's Timbang all alone for the two.
Have to credit the passer, si Tristan Katukod, na seeing his teammate para dun sa forward pass na yon.
Now here's Zamoras. Medyo hounded na siya by the defense, so somebody else has to take control. As of that moment, Dulanas is down. And then there's Timbang, 4 straight points.
Both in transition, both coming from stops. Si Timbang magpe-piesta kung ganun ang gagawin nila dito sa Palawan.
And you're seeing more physicality coming in from the defense nitong Laspinas there. A bit more close, making Palawan uncomfortable and setting up their plays.
Tightening the screws on defense. Itong Laspinas Fruity Iced Tea Coolers. Ito yung pangalawang layup ni Timbang.
Using that, you know, extra stiff arm for security. But now it's going to be Kurt Velasquez going at the line to shoot for 2. He already has 8 points. Most of those, or all of those, were shot at the first quarter. Misses on the first.
Already above his average. 8 points, sabi mo nga.
Velasquez, one of the junior altas that will definitely stay with the team. That is the head coach on your left, Coach Joff Cleopas, looking for a back-to-back title in NCAA Season 101. But as of this moment, they're looking to defend their title here at Junior MPBL. Now they look for the attack, but what a defensive stand mula dito kay Velasquez, who finds itong si Ignacio. And I believe he's going to be going to the line to shoot for 2. That's Mano Ignacio.
When you're a big guy, coaches always love bigs who rim run. You give a lot of opportunities for your team to score. Usually, pag ang big tumakbo agad, ang haharap dyan, nasasalubong dyan, mas maliit na player. That time, it was Abio. So definitely, he had the mismatch. Nothing Abio could do but foul.
And you get those 2 points in return. So that's Mano Ignacio's first 2 points, giving some extra options para kay Velasquez during that last play. Now they're going full court man-to-man. Double teaming as soon as they get into half court. Here's Katukod for the 3, and that's open.
Tristan Katukod. That's his first bucket of the ball game, averaging close to 7 points.
They're definitely gonna need more of him para makahabol sila. Down to 13 is the lead. Ignacio tosses it over. Patalinghog kicks it out. Velasquez lights up a 3.
Back and forth action we go. Kurt Velasquez this time from beyond the arc.
Velasquez, the second Yurich builder in double figures. That's a step back jumper, really difficult para sa kanya as of that moment. That was Yonre De Ocampo. With a minute and 15 left, it's been Palawan taking control of the situation. This time, Prieto. That's not gonna work. Oh, hold up. That is an offensive foul. It's Timbang and Velasquez.
Cooler heads prevail.
The teammates of both Timbang and Velasquez were aware enough para puntahan ang kanilang mga kakampi. And this is what we've been talking about, Charles. For Palawan, you definitely can't afford that because you're kind of depleted in your roster. But same could be said para dito sa Laspinas, as Timbang was that person who gave them 4 straight points. Let's look at this.
Was away from the ball.
It was indeed. And then all of a sudden, that's...
May unnecessary na titigan. Although, napigilan naman agad. Pero again, going back to what you just said, both of these teams hindi pwede na they cannot afford to be in these kinds of situations. Dahil if you're Palawan, you cannot give Laspinas any sort of momentum. At kung ikaw naman ang Laspinas, hindi pwedeng bibigyan mo yung Palawan ng mas madadagdagan yung chance na makascore sila dahil naghahabol na nga kayo eh.
We're trying to figure out how big of a foul it was dito kay Prieto, because I think it was Prieto that fell to the ground. And then pagkatapos nun, ang face-off ay sa pagitan ni Velasquez at itong si Timbang. So Timbang could potentially be called for a foul, but at the same time, I don't know if it's gonna be elevated, and will Perpetual also get a violation for this?
Only one way to find out kung may desisyon na ang ating referees.
And it looks like that is gonna be it. That's a charge. All right. So props to the officials. They're gonna let the kids play. You know, ano lang naman eh, staring contest lang naman eh, 'di ba? Walang ambahan na nangyari. It was just a little too close for comfort, but either way, we continue. So an offensive foul is gonna be awarded para dito kay Timbang. So that could potentially be a warning, but either way, play goes on.
That's what you that's what you like about our referees. You have to commend them na mag-basketball kayo, magpagalingan kayo, wag na yung mga ganyang away-away.
Obviously, they're given warnings, but no fouls. Aside from that offensive foul, here's Velasquez. Ginalit nyo ako, ha?
This time using his right. And that's what you want if you're Coach Jock Cleopas. Yung mga players mo hindi lang one-dimensional.
Now play continues. Yonre De Ocampo tosses it to his big. Santos is not gonna make that. But Timbang keeps it alive para sa Laspinas. Katukod. That's an extra move. No, it's Abid getting through para sa 2 puntos. Quick pace of basketball as Ignacio returns the favor.
But here it turns it with a 3.
My goodness. A shot after another, 3 seconds remaining. Katukod tosses it around, and that is how you finish. Santos finishing it off right after that Abid shot. Ignacio making a 3. A lot of things happening here at the end of the second quarter. But it is still the Palawan Yurich Builders getting a 17-point advantage at the end of 20 minutes. 41 to 24. You're looking at the second quarter highlights by Chef's Magic. A player that you're going to have to take note of, Charles. Who would it be?
Of course, but hindi ang hirap sabihin eh. It can be Velasquez, it can be Zamoras, Dolanas, Prieto, pero again, it's a whole contributing, it's a whole team effort para dito sa Palawan Yurich Builders, and it speaks about their lead.
Everyone stepping up when it matters the most. The lead is at 17. Magbabalik kami for the second half. After halftime, the score is at 41 to 24 points. You're looking at the stats right now. Lots of ups and downs para sa ating dalawang teams. But Charles, what sticks out the most?
Of course, the field goal percentage, 51% for Palawan Yurich Builders, 27% for Laspinas through the iced tea coolers, although they shot less at 29 attempts. Napakababa ng naging shooting, or 33 attempts, napakababa ng naging conversion rate nila dyan. Of course, ang 3-point field goals, 30% laban sa 7 out of 15 naman ng Palawan Yurich Builders. They were also out-rebounded and out-assisted para dito sa laban na to, 24 to 19, 14 to 11.
And now, it is time for our fan of the game. We've spotted someone in the crowd who's been cheering non-stop, full of energy and bringing all the good vibes here in this game. And you know what they say, the coolest fans deserve the coolest iced tea. Congratulations to our fan of the game because you're getting a refreshing treat from True Tea Iced Tea, a no sugar added iced tea. Stay cool with True Tea Iced Tea, the goodness of iced tea without the sugar. And as of this moment, you are watching the 18 under division between the Palawan Yurich Builders and the Laspinas True Tea Coolers. Still, it's Hans Galeria, Charles Bichong, and CJ Ang as part of your broadcast para sa larong ito. We begin the third quarter here at Tanauan City, Batangas. So just in case, if you're nearby, you can come over here and give us a visit because we still have a lot of games in store para sa inyong lahat. Jump ball ang itatawag. That's an automatic conversion to the other side.
Palawan Yurich Builders still trying to set the tone here in the start of the first or the second half. Parang hindi mo rin ramdam no, na nagkukulang yung players netong Palawan Yurich Builders dahil
because the system is the same.
The system is the same. Players are stepping up. So wala. You cannot take away the fact that this is a championship team.
Like, the program has been put to the test so much, and as of that moment, I believe that was Guard Dulanas getting that first bucket para sa ating third quarter. Now, if you're Laspinas, you're looking at such a formidable team in, you know, Palawan. How would you approach this to slowly climb back?
You take it possession by possession, you know, point by point. Hindi pwede na magmamadali kayo. And of course, if you convert make sure that you will make stops. Hindi pwede na magpapalitan kayo ng baskets dahil ang laki na ng naging lamang ng Palawan Yurich builders.
That was a step na nabanggit mo kanina. This is your pound for pound fitness. Foul counted shot of the quarter. Patungo dito kay Calyanta. So they've done their part offensively. Now they're gonna have to bounce back on that defensive end. Hindi nga lang niya napasok yung extra free throw, but that cuts it down to 17 points.
4 out of 11 or 3 out of 11 from the free throw line itong Laspinas.
That's a defensive stop, but Bourbon keeping things alive. Right place at the right time.
That was not a defensive stop by any means, Hans. Nakascore na naman ang Palawan. That's the last thing that you want.
There it goes again. This time, patungo naman sa kabilang side yung naging kaso dito. Kasi kanina nabanggit mo nga, Charles, Simon Mercado unfortunately missing on those point-blank range shots. And now, I believe it's Calyanta facing the same thing. So, they're gonna have to double up on defense whenever they can and whenever they want to. 45-26 is the score. That's a steal. Takbuhan na naman ngayon ng Laspinas. They find Calyanta. Soft touch. Could not work. There's been a lot of shots in that part of the floor.
A lot of shots were taken but not a lot of shots were made. Especially, sabi mo nga, dun sa side or sa part ng court na yon. Parang minamalas itong Laspinas so far.
Although, minalas din sa kabilang banda itong Palawan as an offensive foul is gonna be called against Diago. So with that being said, babalik ang bola dito ngayon sa kupunan ng Palawan. Looking to extend the lead even further. They've been in cruise control of this game.
Cruise control or autopilot, you could say.
Now it's Rejano. Hanap na naman itong si Mercado. This time, Laspinas is that they're never giving up on those, you know, first ball na play. Kailangan laging may kasunod.
That's what you want if you're Laspinas. May second attempt. Hindi lang kung sumablay man yung una, you crash the boards and you get another opportunity to score.
You know, I wonder kung ano ba ang napag-usapan ng ating dalawang teams heading into this second half. So we're gonna take things a bit slower and go over to our courtside reporter for a report. CJ?
Don't look at the score dahil mas fearful and intimidating team tayo when you just play as one. We are outnumbered, so don't relax. Kung pagod tumalon, box out na lang. Have each other's back. Words of Coach Geoff Cleopas in that halftime huddle. Hans and Charles.
Maraming salamat to CJ Ang for that one. And we're, you know, usually seeing that. Nabanggit nga kanina ni CJ that Coach Geoff Cleopas, he understands that they're undermanned as of this moment. But that doesn't stop them from getting other chances. And yung fundamental boxing out na tactic.
And of course, yung rotation as finally Simon Mercado nakabutas na from point blank.
They're gonna need more from him. He now has 6 points. Boxing out should be the key of the game para sa Palawan. There's an entry point sa ilalim. But you know, the Laspinas crowd is starting to come to life. I know it's down 15, pero yung ganung klaseng stops kasi that's what you need to power yourselves.
Couple of stops here and there, couple of baskets, and you might change the complexion of this game.
30-45 is still the score. Rejano trying to evade. Pero nakatakas siya. He gives it to Calyanta. Down to 10 seconds is the shot clock. Oh, that's a floater, which is not gonna work. But you know who's there. Pagtalunan ng laban, Flores could have the upper hand.
Ay, sabi mo nga, pagtalo na ng laban, hindi pwedeng hindi mo makita si Aaron Flores na nakikipaglaban dun sa mga rebound situation and dun sa mga second chance points. And that time, he gets rewarded with 2 free throws.
That has been the key for him, but this
Ayun
has
lang,
been, you know, this has been the dagger on the chest. Yung tinik sa lalamunan.
Kryptonite.
Kumbaga, whenever he visits the free throw line As the misses continue, Mercado misses on that one once again.
0 for 2 for Aaron Flores on the free throw line.
That is 0 for 6 in total, which is quite unfortunate. Kasi siya rin ang nakakuha ng, napakaraming chances. Same could be said for Simon Mercado. The only question is, how long will they be able to make something happen? As you're looking at the foul, there was a slight push galing dito kay Mercado that dropped Binagatan down. Play continues. Dulanas gets it to his big. Papunta kay Ignacio. That would not work, but that's an offensive rebound. Spacing themselves quickly. They still have the ball. 3 seconds remaining. Now they have no choice, but what better way to use the 24 seconds?
The patience on the side of Palawan Yurich builders, despite seeing that the clock was winding down, hindi pa rin sila nawala ng composure at naka-execute pa din ng play.
Composure is indeed the story of that possession, as a foul is gonna be called. Third personal foul na para dito kay Guard Dulanas. He's been, somewhat a little quiet, but at the same time, kasi merong ibang mga players na kaya mag-step up. So, it kind of doesn't matter whether you're quiet or not. As long as you give out decent contributions, that's what matters para sa Palawan.
You're talking about decent contributions. 6 points. Alam ko hindi masyadong eye-popping yan. Pero samahan mo yan ng 8 rebounds at 2 assists, making his case for player of the game if they win this ball game.
On the other hand, this is Katukod. He's made a 3 in that first half. Now he's converted on both at nakakuha pa siya ng steal. Reano slows down, gets a jumper, which did not work. Pataling Hug will now be running. Getting to the other side, Zamoras lights it up. It's been a struggle for him on this side of the floor.
After making 3 during the first half.
Now Zamoras, step back jumper. Tutok, kaso hindi pumasok. Now bodies are on the floor. Ball continues. That's Reano with the last touch. Balik ang bola sa Palawan.
The hustle dito sa mga players na to, diving for loose balls. Those are good habits na magtatanstrate as you progress sa career mo sa basketball. Playing for NCAA, playing for UAAP. Ayun yung mga habits na gustong-gusto makita ng coaches. Yung tinatalon mo talaga yung bola, you're diving for those loose balls.
And this is another one of those, things na nagugustuhan na makita ng ating coaches when you play really hard defense. At magbubunga kasi yan eh. You play all 24 seconds of defense. And with that being said, that gives you momentum, more composure. Para naman kay Babol, step through, getting it in.
What a tough shot it was for Babol. The fake, the step through, and the scoop layup.
Babol, that's his first 2 points sa labang ito. Definitely all on defense now. Baba sa 13 ang kalamangan ng Palawan. They're moving it over. Binagatan. Quite an unusual 3. But he was open. He gets another rebound. 10 seconds. Fresh 10 ang ibibigay dito ngayon sa Palawan. Someone's down. Officials didn't matter. But that is gonna be a turnover galing kay Perk Jude Binagatan.
Good intention, just poor execution on the side of Palawan. Masyadong mababa yung pasa dito kay Perk Binagatan. Nasa tuhod niya na yung bola eh. Paangat na siya eh.
He was already looking at the rim.
Oo.
Kumbaga, iitsa niya na lang eh. He knew what was supposed to be done. Pero ngayon, tumatakbo na naman. Ang kupunan ng Laspinas. Lontok gets it to Mercado. That could have been huge. But that is a miss and a foul para sa Laspinas.
Could have cut the lead to just 10 had he made that three-pointer.
To be fair, Laspinas is getting some open looks. Like, hindi siya yung mga pilit na mga tira eh. They're executing their plays right and they're making something happen on the offensive end.
Again, like what I've said, it's not a matter of execution, it's a matter of conversion. Na-execute naman nila yung mga plays na pinapractice nila, hindi lang talaga na-shoot.
It's only gonna be a matter of when those shots are gonna fall. Here's another shot, pero hindi papasok yun. Takbuhan na naman. It's gonna be led by Babol, finding the open lane. Nabitin. Ngayon, Palawan naman. Patalinghog leaves it to the big guy, and that's Ignacio.
He did that last quarter, yung rim running. He did it again, and he gets rewarded this time without a foul and a clean look.
7 points already para kay Manu Ignacio. As, you know, there's at least 4 or 5 players galing sa Palawan na meron ng 5 points or more sa labang ito.
That's the program of Coach Jock Cleopas. It's a total team effort. It's not the games that they're gonna be playing. Hindi yan, pag nakita mo sa stat sheet, isa lang yung nag-35, isa lang nag-20 plus. It's a total team effort. Makikita mo yung highest score nila at 17, 18. Pero yung mga kasunod nun, 4, 5, 6 silang ganun din yung score.
This system that has been worked on by Coach Joff Cleopas, the understanding of these players pagdating doon sa kailangan nilang gawin sa loob ng court. But what a move galing kay Kurt Velasquez. He went all the way for that too.
After that move, he was wide open. He had his own zip code.
My goodness. Velasquez. Kumbaga, imbis na paganon eh. What a move. Just look at this. 1, 2, no one left. And that's it. That's it, folks. That's 2 points.
The bag of this young man, Kurt Velasquez, just unmatched in transition, especially.
Tsaka yung galaw niya, no, he's agile in a sense na he can go from 0 to 100 and then 100 to 0. Like, I think you can't do that without the understanding of how you'd be able to slow yourself down in a fast-paced kind of gameplay.
That's the art of deceleration. Siyempre, napapanood natin ngayon, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Luka Doncic, James Harden. Kung may incorporate mo yan sa laro mo, siyempre yung deceleration, yung biglang tigil, kontra-tempo yun if you're the defender.
Like, it's good that you're powerful. It's good that you're fast. But knowing when to be powerful and fast, that's what really matters in this game. De Ocampo, though, finally gets his first point in this game. Nung nakaraan nilang laro, he had 12 points and 3 rebounds. But he's somewhat struggling on the offensive end here. Ngayon, takbuhan na naman ng Laspinas. Lots of people from top of the key. Tosses it cross court. Yonri just missing on that mid-range.
He had that open look, decided to take the tougher shot.
Just 30 seconds remaining in this third quarter of action. There's an opening once again. Masyado lang malakas. But they were still able to keep possession. Now here's Velasquez. An acrobatic move. Not the finish he wanted. At pupunta ang bola ngayon sa Laspinas.
With 15.5 seconds remaining, they can try to end the third on a good note.
That's exactly going to be what they need. Unfortunately, it's a turnover. And now I believe it's Palawan who will have last dibs on the third. Velasquez, 3 seconds remaining. Can he make something happen here? He tosses to the hot hand. Just unable to convert. But that was the best shot possible para sa Palawan as they lead still by 14 after 3 quarters. Here are your highlights brought about by Chef's Magic. Ano bang nangyari sa Palawan? How were they still able to keep it? at a distance.
They still played as a team. Walang showboating, walang individual na gustong siya lang yung sumikat. It was still a total team effort, and that translated to many points for the Palawan Yurich Builders.
Final quarter when we return. From tip-off to the final buzzer, every moment counts and so does every meal. Whether you're celebrating a win or just enjoying the game, Chef's Magic condiments bring the flavor that makes every bite unforgettable. Chef's Magic make every meal a magic moment. And it's been magical para kay Kurt Velasquez leading this roster of the Palawan Yurich Builders. But on the other side, you're also gonna have to look at, you know, potential heroes such as Cyrus Rejano, Isaiah Calianta, and Simon Mercado if he's able to get more shots on the board.
We'll see. Only one way to find out now here in the fourth and final period. Still a lot of time, but this last 10 minutes have to be miraculous. Almost perfect para dito sa Laspinas to be able to mount a comeback.
Still, Hans Galeria, Charles Bichong, and CJ Ang ang inyong kasama. And that right there was Katukod missing on his attempt. Ignacio keeping it alive. Good sense of awareness. Nilapitan niya na lang yung bola instead of just depending on it to go right back to him. 13 seconds remaining. Atake na naman. And that is a turnover. Takbuhan na naman ang Laspinas. They were able to chase it. Good in and out move. Katukod tosses it to the other side. Pero depensang matindi naman ang ipinapakita. Good recovery from Palawan. They're back on the run. Here is Velasquez waiting on the other side. Gets another rebound. But Zamoras lights up another. That does not work. Now they're gonna slow it down. Madaya. 3 seconds remaining. Velasquez, step back jumper. That's cash.
Using that step back to create separation for that tough jumper. Kurt Velasquez can kill you in a variety of ways, Hans.
Charles, that's a pro move.
That's correct. That's
a pro move. You usually see that in drills na ginagawa ng ating mga pro players. And Velasquez looks like he's done it in his sleep. But finally, Flores getting it through. That's his first 2 points.
Silang dalawang counterpart dito. No? Parehas athletic, parehas skillful, almost the same height. Maybe si Kurt Velasquez gives up about 1 inch only or 1.5. Sila yung, kumbaga, mga manok na magsasabong dito eh. Aaron Flores and Kurt Velasquez. Although namamayagpag si Velasquez ngayon with 18 points, chance to make it 20.
Kurt Velasquez has taken the reins in absence of some of his teammates. What a movement. Galing dito kay Kurt Velasquez, a bunch of layups, a bunch of solid finishes, and he's also made a 3.
Need we say more for Kurt Velasquez?
If we're going to look at his highlights, he probably has a highlight reel based on this game alone, but he's missed. At may foul din na itatabag dito kay Kakay Zamoras. So because of that foul, Palawan is now able to set up their defense. Lots of things happening right now. Ibababa ni Riano ang bola. This is going to be the case of whether or not they continue. Flores to be the 5 on the floor. Dangerous pass there. Rejano lights it up. That's short. Kuha pa rin yan. Itong si Katukod. Only 10 seconds remaining in that shot clock. Here comes the double team. That's a shot, which is open. Just could not work that time.
Defense of Palawan Yurich Builders. May double, may help, may recovery. Well-oiled machine they are.
Now they move forward. Borbon, some room. Can't get it to go. Kuha na naman yan itong si Flores. But that was perfectly read. Madaya, on the other hand, leaves a flurry. Finally, some slowing down from these two teams. We've seen nothing but action. Right on cue, here they go again, and that's an end one para kay Rejano.
Just when you said that there's some slowing down, Hans, Cyrus Rejano proves us wrong as he has the ball on a string.
That's your pound-for-pound fitness. Foul-counted play of the quarter. We were talking about a possible savior here para sa Laspinas. Someone who can take the reins. And as of this moment, it's this guy on the line.
Di nga lang papasok yung free throw for Rejano.
At matatawagan pa si Mercado ng loose ball foul. But they were able to cut it down to 13 once again. Naglalaro sa ganito yung kalamangan, but they can't seem to break into that single-digit advantage.
Almost nagawa nila kanina. Yun nga lang, laging may sagot talaga itong Palawan Yurich Builders. Hindi sila natatakot, hindi sila kinakabahan kapag medyo nakakadikit-dikit ng konti yung kalaban. They stay composed, they execute their plays, and they make them.
Absolutely, they hit their shots. This is Velasquez, thought about it, hop step, leaving it for Ignacio again. Another offensive rebound. I thought it was going to be another one, lots of chances. 6:30 remaining in the fourth.
Those were 3 chances na binigay ng Laspinas. Lucky break there, di naka-convert.
Now Rejano gets it to the other side. He has an open lane. Flores gets it in.
That quick first step to the glide from Aaron Flores. Skying high for that layup.
Some life galing sa Laspinas. They're asking their team to play defense. In and out it goes para kay Zamoras. Oh, what seemed to be a really hot start is ice cold now para kay Kakay Zamoras. Now Rejano. He finds himself open but he can't control it. Here's a 3. Can't get it in para kay Katukod. But he gets the steal anyway. Tuloy ang aksyon. Katukod gets it, another go.
This is just a 9-point lead for Palawan. Far from over. Not by a long shot, but guard Dolanas is down on the floor, holding on to his right ankle.
Oh, we're wondering what happened there. Ooh. We're not, I don't think it's a matter of contact or whatsoever. I think he slipped in his own ankle, but we're definitely hoping that everything's okay para dito kay guard Dolanas. I mean, taking a look at it again. Oh,
He stepped
Yep, there
on
was contact.
Flores' foot.
there was contact indeed. I don't think Flores was aware of that too.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Tumatakbo lang sila eh.
oh, at the same time, hindi rin aware si Dolanas na nandun itong si Flores. That's gotta hurt for, you know, Palawan. It seems like Laspinas is getting momentum bit by bit, and if you're Palawan, meron ka pang 5 minuto at 37 segundo to take care of this lead for a win.
Kumakatok na sa mga pintuan ng Palawan Yurich Builders. Itong panig ng Laspinas through Iced Tea Coolers. Sinimulan niya ni Cyrus Rejano. That's what you're looking for if you're Laspinas. Yung biglang may spark. That's what they needed. Yun lang yung kailangan nila. Yung Cyrus Rejano na spark off the bench. Tapos matutulungan pa nila Flores, nila Katukod. I'm not gonna be surprised if maidikit nila tong laban na to.
Props din kay Coach Egay Bellones. Just finding yung magic bunot ba na mga manlalaro because you have a lot of players on your roster that could either make or break the run that you want to do here. But at the same time, para sa manlalaro ng Palawan Yurich Builders, that's again Guard Dulanas stepping on one of the players and he twisted his ankle, unfortunately. Still having a hard time na makabangon. So this is a player most needed in this situation. Malalaman natin kung ano ang kanyang kalagayan. Magbabalik ang Junior MPBL Season 3. You're looking at the Laspinas True Tea Coolers. They are down by just 9 points, 54-45, with 5 minutes and 37 seconds to go. Charles, they were doing so well. We're wondering or we're thinking whether or not that momentary stop because of the Guard Dulanas injury would either make or break the momentum na nagkaroon sila. And we have our answer. It's still Velasquez picking up where he left off.
It's not like pumangit yung laro ng Palawan Yurich Builders. Gumanda lang din talaga yung laro ng Laspinas True Tea Iced Tea Cooler since the insertion of Cyrus Rejano.
Balik sa 11. Ang lamang ngayon, down to 5-10 is the score. Rejano is fouled by Zamoras. And Cyrus Rejano's going to the line to shoot for 3. Kita mo rin dito kay Cyrus Rejano, yung build niya. Alam mong sanay sa banggaan. And that's exactly what you'd hope to see from this guy. Really capitalizing on the minutes na binibigay sa kanya.
Well, before this game, he was just averaging close to 7 minutes, 6:56 to be exact, without a single point. And just a rebound. Ngayon, 9 points. Make that 10. Plus 2 rebounds for Cyrus Rejano. Talk about stepping up. Well, the absence of Jericho Abrantes, of course, nararamdaman nila ngayon yan. It could have been a different story kung nandito si Jericho. Pero sila Cyrus Rejano, they're clearly stepping up.
He's becoming a revelation. Para kay Coach Egay Billones at para sa Laspinas as they are down by just 8 points. Binagatan. Looks for Velasquez. He goes right. First step. What a move! This, wondering if he goes to Baguio often or yung bitukang manok sa Quezon. iba yung paraan niya to get through this one. Rejano though gets rejected that time. They only have 2 seconds. Are they aware of it? He needs to let it go. And I don't think they shot it or they got it off in time. Turnover. Beautiful defense mula sa Palawan.
Still, it's still far from over. Just a 10-point ball game, 58-48. A stop here in the basket there. Nandito pa din, within striking distance pa din itong Laspinas.
I believe there's a challenge on whether or not that shot went in. But at the same time, right from the looks of it, there it is. Even before the shot was attempted, the shot clock already reached ang ating 0 mark. So if we're looking at it, Charles, it looks like it's not gonna count, or unless our officials say something else about it. But from the looks of it, there it is, the attempt. It's at 0, right?
Hawak pa niya yung bola.
It was a good attempt, but they just didn't have enough time. Should there be like, a 26-second shot clock? that would have been big. That three-pointer honestly would have been big.
Of course, if you're Coach Egay Billones, susubukan mo na kahit medyo alam mo naman na hindi umabot. Umaga, every chance you can get
Yes.
na makuha yung score na yon. I cannot blame him for, asking for the coach's challenge.
And the challenge kind of counts as a timeout because you get to talk to your players. So at this point, 3:45 remaining. There's an opening mula kay Patalinghug.
Kurt Patalinhog has been quiet during the last 2 quarters, or 3 quarters actually.
You can say entire game. 'Cause
Entire game,
that's his, first 2 points sa laban na ito. On the other hand, just 10 seconds remaining. Naghahanap ng best shot available. Best shot to no shot, says Palawan.
Kurt Patalinhog with 12 assists.
He hasn't been scoring, but he's been dishing those dimes when possible, and he's a man down. Now Rejano, does he notice the man advantage? He takes a very difficult shot. Can't get it in. Gets his own rebound. Nagulat siya kung gaano siya ka-open. Hesitated for a bit, but gets the 2 anyway.
Coaching staff of Laspinas asking for a foul. Aaron Flores is hobbled right now.
Aaron Flores struggling to walk. He's looking at the coaching staff on whether or not they're gonna allow him to still play. That's the situation they're currently at right now. Aaron Flores, in spite of the difficulty of this player to shoot from the free throw line at the open court, this is a guy that you can depend on to get some extra chances with their From tip-off to the final buzzer, every moment counts, and so does every meal. Whether you're celebrating a win or just enjoying the game, Chef's Magic Condiments brings the flavor that makes every bite unforgettable. Chef's Magic, make every meal a magic moment. Now what is a magic moment for Laspinas? It's that if they can catch up to a 10-point advantage with only 2 minutes and 49 seconds remaining, can Cyrus Rejano and the True Tea Coolers make a comeback, or will the Yurich Builders finish it off?
We've seen stranger things happen, Hans. This will not be the first time. If that happens, if they will be able to mount a comeback, it's not the first time.
Fundamental shot there mula kay Yonry De Ocampo.
If your name is De Ocampo, for sure you'll be
That
flooded
mid-range.
with mid-range guidance, fundamental guidance.
Mr. Fundamentals there. This time, binagatan. That's not gonna work. Tapikan ng bola. Babalik kay Bourbon. 2:05 remaining. Patalinghug asking to slow it down. And then there's another move. This time, Bourbon, 3. Off. And another chance. Less time para sa Laspinas. Last 2 minutes in this game on the way. Patalinghug milking on that clock. Another 3. And this time, Velasquez won't be denied.
That must be deflating on the side of Laspinas. They have given Palawan 4 attempts in that situation, in that sequence. And Velasquez makes them pay.
Second time, or they had 2 attempts. It didn't go in. third time around, they gave it to the hot hand. The worst case scenario for Laspinas as of that moment. So the true tea coolers are going to be calling a timeout to talk things through. From 2:49 last time out, now they only have 1 minute and 43 left. Laspinas, led by Coach BRGY, is down by 11 points. Palawan has done their part in defending and getting some buckets over. From the looks of it, it's now on Laspinas' side to figure something out. They get a possession. They leave it for Rejano. Are they aware of the time? It's 5 seconds remaining. Here's Yonri. De Ocampo misses on the three. And the possession, I believe, will stay with Laspinas.
Might have taken a long time for them to hoist the shot.
You're looking at the left side of your screen. The Palawan bench is joining in on screaming defense. Here's a teardrop or a floater. The hook doesn't go in para dito sa Laspinas. And with that being said, looks like another foul is going to be issued towards the Coolers.
Tapos na penalty ang Laspinas. Just in the third team foul.
With, I believe, 1 minute and 20 remaining, the lead stays at 11. Palawan looking to avoid some crucial mistakes here. Really milking some seconds away from that clock, but an unforced turnover galing kay Kirk Patalinghog brings the ball back to Laspinas.
63-52.
With 66 seconds. There's
I'm no expert, but like, it's gonna be close to impossible.
Just really depends on how Laspinas is gonna be using this. They're using too much time. They're gonna have to make something out of it, but look at the defense. De Ocampo gets it again. Mercado tries to power himself in. And then there's another one. But the ball goes to Bourbon. And with 40 seconds left, it looks like Patalinghog is making the most of everything to slow this down.
You don't even have to take a shot. You just need to burn as much time.
And all of Palawan knows it. And Velasquez, my goodness. Point A to point B. That's the dagger of this game.
28 big points in 33 minutes of action. Just on another level, just one step ahead of everyone, literally.
He's allergic to contact. That's what I'm gonna say. In the very best way. In the very best way. Whenever he sees a defender, he's like, nope, I'm going this way. And the same could be said para sa lahat ng ating mga manonood. You can definitely go from point A, your house, to point B, dito mismo sa Gymnasium 1 at Barangay Poblacion 2 at Tanauan City, Batangas, to witness the rest of the action that's about to unfold dito sa Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season 3. Palawan looking for a 4-1 win-loss record to stay at the top of the standings.
Like what I said on top of our broadcast, that one loss, their only loss during the season was on opening day against Antipolo JY Titans. Yun yung nagbigay sa kanila ng spark na okay, hindi pwede to. Pwedeng may mga nawala sa atin na key players, MVP, pero hindi pwede na ipapakita natin na hindi natin kaya nang wala sila.
Now for the last 20 seconds, Katukod is going to be lining up a 3 to provide some life para sa kanilang kupunan. He's made 2 3-pointers. But that will still be resulting to the inevitable, a win para sa kupunan ng Palawan Yurich Builders. The 18 under division coming in from Palawan has won 4 straight games to stay at the top of the standings. Our final score para sa naging laban na ito, it's 65 para sa Palawan Yurich Builders. It's 55 for the Laspinas True Tea Iced Tea Coolers. What a game. There were some signs of life mula sa Laspinas, but Palawan stood their ground.
I mean, Laspinas had their chances. They were able to cut the lead to just 8 points. But again, Kurt Velasquez happened. Zamoras during the early stages of the ball game, he had 13 points. Ignacio also contributed. On the side of Laspinas naman, it's Cyrus Rejano. He was the spark of the bench. He was the beacon of hope para sa Laspinas together with Katukod. Pero hindi talaga enough eh. Masyadong malakas yung firepower netong panig ng Palawan Yurich Builders.
Baka posible na mas makita pa natin si Cyrus Rejano sa kanilang mga susunod na laban. But unfortunately for Laspinas, they're gonna be falling to 1 win and 2 losses sa ating 18 under division. Meanwhile, para naman sa ating Palawan Yurich Builders, you also have players like Kurt Patalinghog who has been dishing it. He's at 2.6 assists and 2.6 rebounds and 12 assists. But now, we're gonna toss it over to our courtside reporter, Miss CJ Ang, together with our best player of the game.
Thank you, Hans. At kasama ko na nga ang ating Chef's Magic player of the game from the Palawan Yurich Builders, Kurt Velasquez. Kurt, underman kayo but still, you are the undefeated team.
Siyempre, nagtitiwala lang po kami sa isa't isa ng mga players namin and special thanks sa mga teammates ko dito. Kahit 10 lang po kami, nagsistep up talaga yung lahat. Hindi lang yung isa, hindi lang yung mga guards, pero yung lahat din talaga nag-step up sa team namin po.
Kurt, meron ka pa bang gustong batiin at pasalamatan?
First of all, glory to God. Thank you Lord, nakuha namin yung panalo and shoutout sa parents ko, sa family ko dun sa Ormoc City Leyte, kay mami at daddy, lola, lolo, tita and tito, sa family ko sa Cebu and yung sila Boss Red, sila Sir Mark, sila Coach Job, yung coaching staff ng Perpetual po and sa mga teammates ko po. Yan lang po.
Thank you and congratulations once again, Kurt. Charles and Hans?
Maraming salamat to CJ Ang and of course Kurt Velasquez, our best player of the game. But looking at the Hustle Club defensive player of the game, that's Guard Dolanas, 9 rebounds and 2 steals. You're usually not used to, a player of the game sitting down, but you have to give him some slack. We move on to our Don Benito's Filipino Delicacies assist man of the game, Kurt Patalinghog. Talagang binigyan niya ang buong team. Sipin mo, 10 lang sila, Charles, but he was able to give 12 assists, probably to at least every single one of them. And now, with that being said, we move on later sa ating 16 under division, still between Palawan and Laspinas. In behalf of our courtside reporter, Ms. CJ Ang, and my partner, Charles Bechong, my name is Hans Galeria. Magbabalik po ang Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season 3.
Liga ng bayan na to, mga kabataan na sugod. Junior MPBL para sa'yo, ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino. Liga ng bayan na to, klaro na to, huwag kang sumuko sa gustong gawin. Isang pangarap, isang tagumpay, yeah. Gabay at pag-asa ng bayan, landas pagbabago, pag-asa, ikaw ang mahalaga. Iba't iba, pero